All right, let's just jump right in. Yeah, that title is pretty unsettling, right? But it comes from a story that, believe it or not, just happened yesterday. And it pulls back the curtain on something really uncomfortable about family, control, and what we call care. It all started when my neighbor, this sweet woman in her 80s, knocked on my door. She was so quiet, and she asked if she could just borrow my phone because her son wouldn't let her use her own.
So she was just trying to call her niece, that's it. But as soon as she did, her own phone rings. It's her son calling her back, and I could hear him clear as day. She tried to tell him she'd brought him some food, and he just snaps back with this exact phrase, "Deserve to spoil, why are you so disobedient?" Just let that sink in through a second. An 80-year-old woman being called disobedient by her son. She just went totally silent on the phone, didn't even dare to tell him where she was.
And after she got off the phone with him, she called her niece. And what she said, man, it just broke my heart. She whispered this. All she wanted was to say, hey, I'm okay. I can handle things on my own. It wasn't really about needing help. It was about losing her voice, her freedom. I mean, she couldn't even use her own phone.
And look, you might think, okay, that's just one family's sad story. But it's not. This is a pattern. I have another story from a friend about their grandmother, and it shows you exactly how the idea of care can get twisted into something else entirely.
So get this, my friend's grandmother, who's in her 90s, gets taken in by her own daughter, my friend's aunt, so she can be cared for. Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, what actually happened was the aunt built a whole new house on the grandmother's property, and then she started pressuring this elderly woman over and over to sign a will leaving her everything. We're talking keeping her up at night, just wearing her down until she'd give in. This care got so bad, the whole thing wound up in court.
Let's just pause here for a second. You've got the controlling son, and you've got this coercive daughter. When you put these two stories together, you start to see a really disturbing picture emerge. This is way beyond just normal family squabbles. And that gets us to the really tough part of all this. The motivation isn't always love. For some people, getting close to you is a strategy. It's about getting access to what you have, your money, your home, your assets. Your value becomes the target, and care becomes the tool they use to get it. So you have to ask, how do they get away with this? How do they justify it? Well, a lot of the time, it's hidden behind this idea of filial piety, the cultural ideal of respecting and caring for your parents. But that ideal can be twisted to justify things that aren't caring at all.
And this is the weapon. This one phrase, you've probably heard it a million times. It sounds so selfless, right? So caring. But so often, it's just an excuse to ignore what someone wants, to take away their choices, and to just force your own will on them.
Let's actually break down what this phrase really means. It's like a code. When someone says, I'm doing this for your own good, what they're often saying is, I need you to shut up and listen to me. Or, I'm going to be the one making the decisions from now on. And really, at the end of the day, it just means I want control over your money, your home, your life, the whole shebang.
This confusion between love and control, that's really what this is all about, isn't it? It's so easy to get them mixed up. So let's try to draw a really clear line between what real care is and what it absolutely is not.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. It's this simple. Filial piety, being a devoted child, does not equal control. And caring for someone does not mean you own them. That's it. A healthy family, any healthy relationship really, is built on respecting that difference.
And this is how it happens, It's not usually some big dramatic event. It's a slow creep. It starts with something small, like controlling a phone. Then it moves on to cutting them off from their friends, from their social life. Then comes the pressure about money and property. And all the while, if anyone dares to question it, they get hit with the "you're being unfilial" or "you don't care" label. It's a power move.
Okay, so we've seen the problem. It's heavy stuff. But what do we do about it? Well, there are three really clear, pretty sobering pieces of advice that we can take from this.
So here are the big takeaways. Number one, and this is for the elders out there, have a bottom line. Don't give away your house, your money, or your power to make your own decisions before you absolutely have to. That's not being selfish, it's being smart. Two, for everyone else in the family, someone has to be the one who sees clearly. You have to be willing to see when care is starting to look more like control. And three, for everybody, learn to spot the red flag. Be on high alert for that one single phrase.
Because the second you hear someone say, I'm only doing this for your own good, you need to realize what's happening. That's not the beginning of a negotiation. That's a warning shot.
It means your personal boundaries are being tested, they're being pushed, and they're actively being worn down. It's a signal that control is taking over from respect.
And we're going to end on this final, really powerful thought. This isn't just about elderly parents and their kids. This applies to every single relationship we have. When we don't set and respect boundaries, even the deepest love can turn into something that causes harm. It just creates this toxic cycle where the people who were controlled often become controllers themselves. So the challenge for all of us is to figure out how to be close to people without consuming them and how to care for them without controlling them. It's about choosing respect over possession every time. So maybe a good question to leave with is, where in your life do you need to check on your boundaries?